Hey, and welcome to Instagram 101. I am just starting the meeting, and I think we're going to hang out here a little bit, so it's going to be a little boring for a few minutes while I play around. Hey, Jenny, I see that you're here. I'm actually going to make sure everybody's on the chat and do some fun fooling around with this. So in a few minutes, we'll get started, and then we'll make sure everybody's here and can hear me. So there is that. Hey, Rajika.
Hey.
I'm going to try and play around with this. I only wanted, let's see, actually didn't want you guys to be on this, and I think it's something I did. Okay, so hi, and welcome to Instagram 101. I'm Lisa Nichols with Terra Strategies, and I'm so excited to have you guys join me on this journey. And I gotta make this a little brighter. We're not. It's freezing here, freezing everywhere. So we are going to get started. And first of all, I want to make sure you guys can hear me. So if everybody could put in, let's see, a big hello or something like that, that would make sure I know that y'all can hear me. So if you could do that, that would be great. Okay, good. We got everybody on. So I almost forgot my outline. I should have been bad. Like I can do this stuff in my sleep, but it's always nice to have a, kind of an organized thought process. So the chat's going to stay open, and if you guys have questions, I'm going to tell you to, I'm going to keep everybody muted, but if you have any questions, put them in the chat box, okay? I think that'll be a little bit easier for all of us. And we are going to have some times where I kind of step back and say, let everybody kind of do an exercise. So if that happens, we're going to have a little bit of downtime to work on this. So I do want to know from you guys first, who's here, are you currently on Instagram, and do you have a business or personal account? So I just want to type in not on Instagram, business or personal, and let me kind of take a look and see what you got going on. Okay, yeah. Personal, couple personals, okay. Personal, Emily's got business. Holly, I'm pretty sure you have business. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's where we're going to dive in. And just for a really brief overview, because I know people are going to be checking on this on the recording. So why am I doing this Instagram workshop? It's funny. I give a lot of presentations and workshops out in the real world. And the one that seems to get the most notice and interest is Instagram. So I've started holding in-person workshops, and a lot of people said that they needed something, but they didn't want to come to Tyson's or whoever's holding the workshop. So I decided to do the online one. And that's why we're here. It just seems there's a lot of interest in Instagram. Not everybody's quite sure how to use it. The reason it's me doing this is because I started my business Terra Strategies almost 9 years ago. And back then Instagram wasn't in, a twinkle in anybody's eye, and it hadn't started yet. But I've kind of, with social media, since there wasn't a lot of ground being broken ahead of me, and I'm not saying I'm groundbreaking, I'm just saying that not a lot of people are doing it, I've kind of had to learn how to do everything on my own. And so Instagram was one of those. When it came up, I was not an early adopter, but I quickly jumped on it after a little bit, and I love using it now. I think it's fun, and it's actually, with all the changes to the Facebook algorithms, Instagram is a lot more personally rewarding because you get a lot more interaction back from your audience, and it seems more fun and it's more engaging, probably because of the photos. So everybody's jumping on Instagram, and the thing is, initially it was only kind of younger people, right? Like in lower age ranges, kids, but now everybody's going on it. It's the fastest growing social platform, and everybody's on there. Everybody's understanding how much fun it can be and how fantastic it is. So we're going to go over how to use your Instagram and to really attract your audience and set up an account that people want to look at and that works for your business, but also, you know, isn't boring. So like I said in all of the descriptions, we're going to take you from Instagram incompetent, if that's what you are, to Instagram fabulous. Now, the one challenge with this is that when I hold up my phone, it's backwards, right? And I want to show you guys stuff, but I can't really figure out how to make that work. I can't flip my screen, which is driving me nuts. So I'm going to do a mix of showing you things that are both online and on the phone. On my PowerPoint presentation and on the phone, as an FYI. So I'm going to try and work mostly from the phone, but if something doesn't quite work, then we'll go ahead and we'll do it. We'll grab the PowerPoint presentation and make it work better for you. So that's the deal. So first of all, let's talk about having an Instagram account. And I know that a couple of people just joined us. So what we're going to talk about first is business or personal account, right? Why would you do one or the other? So, okay, Maggie says the phone is facing the right way, which is awesome. So that means that I can actually do this and show you guys, because for me, it looks like it's the wrong way. And that was going to drive me a little crazy. But if it's looking good to you guys, that rocks, and I'm super happy, and it makes this whole thing a lot easier. Cool. Okay, so let's talk first about business versus personal and why we would do one or the other. So the thing is that with Instagram, it's not like a Facebook page, right? Where a business page is clearly very different than a Facebook personal page. With Instagram, you can either designate your account as personal or business. And the reason to do business is because you get insights, which I love. And you get the ability to put a link in your bio. Now, that may have changed. I don't know if you can do that on a personal account now, but that's a big deal. And then if you want to sell on Instagram, I believe that you have to have a business account, although I haven't really dipped my toes into that much. But the insights are amazing. So if you guys are trying to keep track of what's going on with Instagram and want to have that value of seeing what your people are looking at and what they're interested in, and you want to have links, then I would definitely recommend a business account. Now, you know, there's been some buzz, well, business doesn't do as well. I hear there's less engagement on business. I don't think that I've found that's happened at all. And I think that because Instagram is so good at engagement, it's not something really to worry about. But if you switch to business and then hate it, you can always switch back to personal. So I highly recommend that you guys do a business account, because insights are crucial to running your business. And the way you do that, we're going to get onto Instagram, I'm going to show you here, is first of all, in setting up your profile, right? We're going to talk a lot about what makes a good profile, but the very first thing to do is set up your Instagram business account. And so the way you do that, you're on your main page where you can see, oh, my lighting. Let me see, that little light guy may not help. Oh, it doesn't make a difference. Okay, trying to not make the light. Okay, a little bit better. Cool. Okay, so you're going to go into these bars here, right? On the top, everybody see where I did that? And then on the bottom, it says settings. We're going to go into that. And you're going to scroll down, and under business settings, if it's under personal settings, if you have a personal account, mine pops up under business settings. That's where you switch from business to personal account. It's super easy and it takes a hot second. So for those of you that are not on a business account right now, I want to give you a second to switch over to business, because then we're going to get into your bio and how you create that and do some work on that, okay? So for anybody, I'm trying to think. I have Maggie, Rajika, Jenny, we're all personal. And I don't know about Nikki or Emily, I think said she was business. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm saying switch to a business account. I would like to see you guys all switch to a business account. Holly, you want to unmute to ask your question? Sure, go ahead. You're unmuted.
My question is I was playing with this before, and then when I clicked on switch to business account, Instagram wanted to automatically make a whole other Facebook page for me, and I didn't want that at all. So I don't know if that's changed.
You know, yeah, they did. When we had the in-person workshop, they did that, and it was really bizarre. And I just told everybody, no, don't do it. Don't switch. For some reason, they're trying to link what you have going on. So I wouldn't do that. I would just wait and kind of get out of that and worry about linking your page later on, your Facebook page. Okay, so if
Right.
you guys are switching to business and you can kind of get out of that thing where they're asking you to create a personal Facebook or another Facebook page, don't do that. But definitely switch to a business, and we're going to take a look at the insights as we get further down here, and you guys can kind of see how it works. So hopefully, Holly, when you were doing that, you were able to get out of that and not.
I was, and I went back to a personal account because I like the way it was functioning was fine. I'd post my pictures and it would post to my Facebook account, which is already linked to it. So I'm trying it again to see if it'll not push me towards making a whole other Facebook page that I don't want.
Okay, and then when we're done with this, I'll try and do some work on looking at that and seeing why that's happening, because it shouldn't be. Maggie, if you're seeing insights, then you should have a business account. Yes, that is correct. Okay. I can't see, but if you got insights, that's the other way to check is to go into your settings and see where mine says business settings. If you have a business account, it should say switch back to a personal account like mine does right there. Okay. And if you have that, then you've got a business account. Got it? Cool. Okay. So now that you guys have your business account set up, and that should have just taken a second, if anybody needs another minute, like raise your hand or something. Okay. Holly, I can't, it's saying create your Facebook. Can you get out of that? It probably asks for a category. Just go into the closest one that you can.
Yeah, it says, okay, welcome. Since you chose not to connect your page to Instagram, an unknown page for Holly Shan has been created so people can search for and check into your business. Learn more about claiming this page or go to settings to claim this page.
Okay, now we may have to, so Holly, I'm gonna table that for a little bit because I don't want to get bogged down in it. We may have to go in and do some playing around with that. It's something weird, and it did happen the last time we did this too, and I thought it was just kind of a fluke, so apparently it isn't. And I don't know why it happens, to be honest. I'm not quite sure. So if you can get through it and just create a business account, and we'll worry about that link later. Like I think we can do it with unlinking. So there's things we can do, and we can work on that separately, okay? So everybody should have a business account, right? So what do you do next? First of all, you need to be sure that your username and name are searchable under your business, right? And that's important. So your username is the one where it's like @ right? So @ Lisa A. Nichols is my Instagram username. So I want you guys to be certain, and you can change your username, but I want you to be certain that that whatever your username is, it allows people to find you as your business, right? Like, so for me, I'm kind of branding myself, so that's important to me. Holly, I don't know if you're gonna wanna do like Peaceful Pet Playground or something like that as your username, but that @ username needs to be something that's representative of your business. So if you guys have one already, I want you to type in what your username is. Rajika, you might be able to describe, to skip that stuff. If you need to do it, then just take a second or two to go through it, okay? So we got Compassion Speaks, Maggie Sterner. Okay. You know, Maggie, I think that just Maggie Sterner, it might be better. I like shorter is better. So you can put your description you can put more information in the description, and we're going to talk about your description next. Okay. Nikki, Eclectically Simple, if that's your business name, then that works, right? Cool. Okay, so make sure your username is searchable, and then make sure that your name is in there too. So that's the other thing. Let me show you guys this. If you can see, I have my name, Lisa Nichols. I did some weird font thing that somebody else showed me how to do, but you do want to have your name on there, right? So my username is Lisa A. Nichols, but I'm also using Lisa Nichols as my name, and that's something you could edit. If you guys go into your 3 bars and settings, Did everybody see that? The 3 bars at the top in settings. Oh, hold on. Ugh. Oh, wait, bad spot. Okay, main page, under edit profile. So you can make sure that you put your name, everybody can see, you can change your name there. I would definitely put my real name there so that people know, like, let's say, Nikki, they're looking for you and they have Eclectically Simple, but you want Nikki Murrell to be there, right? You want them to be able to look for you too, and that's important. Emily, you're not sure if your Instagram account is Emily or Boulder in Business. Like, you could have Boulder in Business as the @ username, but make sure that Emily Barros, or I'm saying that wrong, is up here so that people can also find you that way too, because they both pop up and that's super important. So if you guys don't, okay, edit your profile, I'm gonna show you. On your main Instagram screen, see up to the top right here, edit your profile, you just click on that. Okay. Nikki, you wanna unmute to ask your question? Sure, go ahead. Can you unmute you or do I need to do it?
Got it. So for my name, I have Eclectically Simple Jewelry. So are you saying I should take that off and just put Nikki Murrell? Because
so if your username is Eclectically Simple, I would actually put Nikki Murrell as my name. I would do that. Okay. Because people are going to be looking for you. And let's say you meet someone, right? And you're out meeting someone and they want to find you on Instagram and they're looking under Eclectically Simple, but they're not 100% sure it's you. I like having your name as that reinforcement. Like for me, I think that works best. Like I think of all the times when I'm trying to find people's Instagram accounts and they have this weird name, like, so they have a name of their business, but I'm not 100% sure it's them. I just think it makes it clearer. Yeah, you can do Eclectically Simple Jewelry, maybe as your Instagram handle, okay. Or just leave it Eclectically Simple. But I would put Nikki Murrell. That's what I would recommend. And you can do whatever you want, but I think that would work best.
Question for you. So if I change the username at this point, will that affect, I don't know, people accessing because they're used to Eclectically Simple or?
So I think that if you put Eclectically Simple Jewelry and you still search for Eclectically Simple, that should pop up, right? And try it. Like change your username, put it to Eclectically Simple Jewelry, have a friend search for Eclectically Simple, see if it pops up, and if it doesn't, then change it back. Like it's very fluid. Nothing's really set in stone with this, so just play around with it a little bit and see what works, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Okay, guys, so, okay, so we've got our username and business name, and then I want to just encourage you guys, if you don't have a profile photo of you, then be sure you do, right? Make sure your profile photo is you or your logo if your business is your logo, okay? So if your username is Eclectically Simple Jewelry, then you might want your logo there, right? I have my name because I'm trying to, again, brand me, so I have my photo, but make sure you put something in there and make sure it's a good picture, okay? This is how people are looking at you at first glance, and you want that to be, you want that to be representative of you. And it's a simple thing, but a lot of people just don't do it, or they put something that's blurry, or it's not a really good photo. So just be sure you guys are uploading your photo, okay? So we've got our photo, our username, our Instagram business account, our name, and then you have your little blurb about you, right? And this is where you kind of can tell people what's going on with your business. And I love this. Like a lot of times people don't pay attention to this, but you can actually use hashtags in here that are searchable, and you can use it to really tell people what's going on with your business. So like mine says, busy mom, animal lover, and social media guru, and social media gurus and hashtags. Join my free Facebook group, Social Visibility Society, to learn about using social media for your biz. So I've even included a call to action with this because I think for me that's important. I want to steer people towards my group, and that's why I put it in there. So I want you guys to take a few minutes. I'm just going to hang out here. I want you guys to take a few minutes and work on your bio. And I know you're going to ask me, it's 150 characters. Use hashtags. Don't go crazy, like 1 or 2 tops, I think. And then tell people what you do as well as why they should follow you. Okay? So take a minute. I'm going to go off screen here for a sec, and I want you guys, I'm going to, at 1:20, I want everybody to start. If everybody hasn't typed in by then, I want you guys to do this. Maggie, I do have a slideshow. It's kind of my slideshow is more about pretty pictures. So it may or may not be helpful, but this is going to be recording, so you can go back and do this too. So I will send all you guys the recording. It's probably going to be on YouTube, and you can go back and look at it. And I'll also send out the slideshow, but my slideshow is really, really basic because all of this is essentially on your phone, right? So it's hard. Like, it's hard to make this work on a slideshow and do screen prints. So you guys take a minute to work on your bio, and then I want you guys to show me. And this doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just get a start on your bio. And I do have a slide that shows. Okay. Actually, I can do this. I'm going to share my PowerPoint. You guys are doing this. Okay, is everybody can see? I think you guys can hopefully see here.
No.
That's my bio.
Can't see it.
Oh, you can't?
No, I can't read it.
Oh, okay. Okay. It is in the slideshow. It's hard to read. You guys are, yeah, you're right. But anyway, I do have this, so you guys can see that. Okay. So anyway, I want to see everybody's bios in a second. So work on those, work on creating, it's 150 characters, like 1 or 2 sentences that talk about you, what you do, your business, and use a hashtag. Okay. Okay, Maggie, that is good. I would actually take out some of the hashtags and just use 1 or 2 in your bio, and then kind of put a little bit more description about maybe pain points or what you help people do or something like that. So work on that a little bit. I don't think you need like more than 1 or 2 hashtags in your bio. I mean, some people have a lot. I think that I'd rather use the thing to describe Holly, animal communication counselor. Okay. Okay, Holly, that's good. I think you can have more fun with it. Like, who's a bad dog? If your dog's a bad dog, you need to see me, something like that, and use some hashtags. So I think you can have a little bit more fun with it because, I think it can be more of your personality too. And then definitely you want to put like a hashtag about dog or animal behavior in your bio because those are, if you search those are huge. Okay, so Jenny, okay, so bio. So first of all, you don't have to change it right now. However, it's under your bio is here. So all you do is hit edit profile. And that's where you change it. Okay, did you see what I did? I'm going to go back. Your bio is here. You see that? So you're going to hit edit profile. And it pops you in, and that's where you edit your bio. So you just go in and play around with that, okay? Anybody else? Okay, reflexologists offer treatment. Okay, but Regina, that's a good start. I would, so maybe, I think that's good. Again, I like having fun with these, and because really this is how you're going to grab people. So Nikki, that's awesome. Love it. That is fantastic. Be bold, be confident, be uniquely you for everyone else is taken. That is perfect. Love it. Okay. Rajika, yeah, I think you could have a little bit more fun with it too. So kind of work on having that fun aspect of it filtering in. I think there's more more you can do with that, okay? And, you know, if you want to brainstorm, like in the group or something, you know, play around. I have, most of you guys are in my Facebook group, so if you want to, if you're playing around with this stuff and you want to pop it in the group and say, hey, I was working on my Instagram bio, what do you guys think about that? And tag me, I can always jump in and help you out with that too. Emily, that's perfect. So actually, the part about join my group we're going to talk about your links next, so you don't even need to include that in your bio. I'd like to see, I'm a bold action coach, something about, do you need to take bold action to grow your business? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, you know, so something like that, like make it bold. If you're a bold action coach, make that thing bold, right? You're kind of low key with the bio, so make it a little bolder. Branding coach business small. Okay, very nice, Maggie. I like that. That's very nice. I'm going to recommend that before you use that boom hashtag, search it out and make sure, see what else it's used for. That was like, we're going to talk about that on hashtags when we get there. But if you guys are using any hashtags, you always want to search them for to see what they're used for, because it really, I have one client who does chiropractic and massage therapy, and you never, ever, ever want to use massage hashtag. If you're ever thinking about it, don't. Just don't. Nikki knows, right? Yeah. So anyway, yes. Emily, in terms of hashtag, you can use a hashtag in your bio. So if you can do it and it's a searchable hashtag that gets a lot of notice, you know, go ahead and do it. We're going to talk about hashtags a little bit further down. And, you know, what I'm going to say for hashtags on your post in general also applies to hashtags in your bio. Okay, so we'll kind of get there, but I keep in mind that you could have a hashtag, and I think it's not a bad idea. I put one in mine. I put social media guru. I thought that was the best one. I might change that at some point to be like public speaking, you know, or something like that. Okay, so anyway, okay, so we have our bios. When's the last time you took care of your feet? Oh, nice, Rajika. I love that. Okay, again, I would look up foot care and healing your body before using those hashtags. Okay. So just be sure you look it up. But that's great. This is great, you guys. This is good. Good. You're on the right track. Love it. Okay. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you about as part of your bio is that you can have a link, right? And I don't know that they allow more than one link. So that's kind of a pain, because sometimes you have stuff that you want people to go to and you have more than one link. Like for me, I've got my group, I've got my website, I've got my Facebook page. You know, for NAWBO, they've got, you know, events. They want people to go to events. So I'm using this thing, if you can see it down here, called Linktree. It says linktr.ee/Lisa A. Nichols. If you have more than one link that you want people to go to, we're going to go onto Linktree and set up links. And I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. I'm going to do a screen share, okay? Linktree is fantastic. Oh, Emily, nice. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Much, much better. You guys you're rocking it. This is good. Okay, so what Linktree does is allows you to have multiple links, but just put that one Linktree thing in your bio so that, you know, if Instagram doesn't allow you to do multiple links, you can actually get there. So I'm actually going to share my screen again, Google Chrome, share, and get over to Linktree and show you what it looks like. Okay, let's open up. Oh man, these things are very crazy. Okay. Linktree. Okay. So, can everybody see my Linktree? It says you only get one chance to link in Instagram, make it do more, sign up with Instagram. Okay. So I have already signed up. Oh, wait, I need to log in actually. So these are my links. I don't know, can you guys see these? So if you can see, I have 7 links, but not all of them are turned on. Linktree is super easy. You essentially, if you're not using it, you go in, you sign up with Instagram, and then you just start putting in links and you know, the link description, like the link name, and then you can turn them on or turn them off. So for me, I've had workshops on there. I've had more than one workshop. Sorry, you guys, I have the chat off right now, so I'll have to get to it in a second. So I have my workshops in there, and I just turned off Canva because Canva was up, and I'll probably turn off the Instagram one in a little bit. And then I've got my group and then my website, okay? But I had, sometimes I'll have my guide up there, like if I have a freebie or when I'm speaking at a connector conference and I have a link to the conference for tickets, I'll put that up there. So Linktree, I love, love, love Linktree. It's a really cool thing to do. It's linktr.ee, as you can see, and then you just go ahead and sign up with your Instagram account and then start typing in your links. And as soon as you hook up your Instagram, it will pop up. So what will happen is you'll put the links in, something magical happens, and then you look at your Instagram and Linktree is on there and you're all set. It's really, really cool. So I'm going to stop the share to look at these chat questions. Okay. Rajika, it's okay. Okay. Holly, I'm going to challenge you to have a little bit more fun. Interspecies communication, gosh. So we're going to talk about I'm going to challenge you to have a little bit more fun with that. Okay. So anyway, Holly's bio. Let's go back to Linktree, you guys. There we go. Okay. So what'll happen is once you hook it up with Instagram, it says right here, create a new button or link, add a new button and link, and you just pop that and start typing. Put whatever you want to call, description of that link, make it short and sweet, and then put your link in there. So you have to have your link. And then you kind of hit this button and then it does something, again, weird with the hitting the button thing, but all of a sudden it pops up. Let's see if I can add a new button here. Okay, so if I'm adding a new button, I'm gonna edit my title and put Lisa's homepage. I'm gonna put www. I usually cut and paste this. Okay, and then I hit that, turns it off, and boom, turns it on. And it's weird, you have to somehow turn it off and on. And then if I went into my Linktree on my Instagram, I would see that that had popped up. Okay, I'll show you guys. When you have that link in your Instagram account, stop this share. Okay, see my Linktree link right there, Linktree, then I hit it, and my Instagram pops up. And the new one I did just showed up, Lisa's homepage. See how cool that is? So that's what Linktree does, and then people can just click on whatever they want to, and they get a link to.
Hey, Lisa?
Here it is, yeah.
I got a quick question. What is Linktree, what does it do? Why am I using it?
You're using it if you have more than one link that you want people to go to. Instagram only allows you to do one link.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Like I said, if I have like my courses that I want people to get to, and I have, I have like my group. So the thing is that you cannot put a link in an Instagram description. Okay. It doesn't allow it. If you do that, it looks unprofessional and it doesn't go anywhere. The only place you can have links with Instagram, unless you set up like an Instagram shop where people can buy from you, the only place you can have links is in your bio. And you can only have one link. So Linktree allows you to have more than one link in your bio so that people can go to all the things you want. So like for me, if I'm going to do a post about let's say my workshop, right? So normally I have, let's say in my bio, I say, as you guys can see, join my Facebook group, right? And so normally I might put that as my link. But now I want to do my Instagram workshop, so I have to go in, change that up and say, okay, well, sign up for my workshop. But then if I have another, if I want to tell people to join my group, I have to change it again. So you're always having to change out that one link in your Instagram bio because you cannot put links in your descriptions. They don't click anywhere, okay? So Linktree allows you to have more than one link, and they're easily labeled. As you can see with mine, you just click Linktree. It's a clickable link, and it looks like it. And then I have all the options of everybody to click on my different links, okay? So that's why you use it. And it's a great tool, and I love it. For anybody, like let's say if you just have a website, then maybe you don't need it, but a lot of us have more than that going on. A lot of us have courses, a lot of us have freebies that we're giving away, all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah, and how do we get the Linktree? How do we get it into our Instagram account?
So what you then have to do is you sign up with Instagram, and then you have to you label your Linktree account. Let me show you guys again.
If I'm in Instagram, how do I get to Linktree?
First of all, you have to sign up for Linktree, okay?
Got it.
And
okay.
see, here's this thing, my bio link, okay? As you guys can see on here, you have to create a bio link. I use mine as my name. You can use yours as your name or as your business, or you can use Eclectically Simple. You can use, you know, Compassion Speaks. I would probably do it the same as what I labeled my Instagram handle, right? Just to make it easier. And then you're going to cut and paste this and put it into your Instagram bio where you, stop the share. This is a little confusing. So you're going to put it into your Instagram bio where you edit profile and you have your website on there. That's where you stick your Linktree link. Okay? So instead of whatever website you guys have going on, that's where you put your Linktree link. Okay? Make sense? Everybody good? Tell me if you're not, if you need something to go over again, tell me no. Rajiki, what do you need help with? You're totally lost. Okay. So if you have more than, so you actually have to go into Linktree and set up a profile on Linktree. You have to link it to your Instagram. I'm going to show you again. Okay. So mine's already set up, but I've done this for other clients. So you're going to go in and you're actually going to sign up with Instagram to be on Linktree. Then you're going to label this bio link here with your name. And then you're going to add your links. You're going to add a new button or link and put whatever website you want on there. And then you're going to click this cute little button and it'll show you what it looks like. See here, that just changed. Okay. Whenever you guys add links, if you add new links, it's going to happen right over here and you're going to see what it looks like. Then you need to take this URL right up here that I'm highlighting and put that onto your Instagram profile where it says website. And then whenever you add new links, they will automatically pop up on your Instagram under Linktree, okay? So if someone visits your Instagram profile, they're going to see under website linktr.ee/, mine will say Lisa A. Nichols. That's where all of my links are. They're gonna click on that and they're gonna see these three things and they're gonna say, oh, I'm gonna click on the Instagram workshop, I'm gonna click on Social Visibility Society, or I'm gonna click on Terra Strategies. So it allows you, instead of just having your URL for your website, it allows you to have multiple URLs in your Instagram bio. Now, people won't see those multiple URLs unless you actually click on Linktree, okay? Does that help a little bit? Everybody good? Rajika, you okay with it, or do you want me to go over it further? Yeah, that's where you plug it in. Under your website, that's where you put in that Linktree that name that you've assigned it. Like I showed you guys mine. I said mine was Lisa A. Nichols. You can put that name in as long as no one's taken it, you're fine. So like Nikki could do Eclectically Simple and Holly could do Compassion Speaks. So it'd be https://linktr.ee/Compassion Speaks/ Eclectically Simple, whatever it is. You copy and paste that and put it in your Instagram bio where it says website. I showed you right there, website, that's where you put it in. And so that when you go to your profile, instead of saying like terrastrategies.com, it says Linktree.Lisa A. Nichols, and then people click on that, okay? If your website isn't Holly, yes, at your Facebook group. Okay, my Linktree, that's me. And then if I hit that, that's what my Linktree, that's what it looks like. And then no one's gone off Instagram. They're just clicking through Instagram to your website, and then they can pick whichever one of these they do. If you don't have anything set up and you don't have anywhere for people to go, then don't worry about putting a website in. But, this is if you have multiple websites and you want to use those, it's a really good tool. If you have a Facebook group, you can put that in there. If you have a freebie that you're giving away for people, you can put that in there. So you can put all different things. It doesn't have to be your website, but it just allows people to access more than one URL through your Instagram bio, which they cannot do any other way, okay? So that's why I love it. It's a really good tool. So we're gonna move on past Linktree, right? And we can always go back over if you guys want to talk about it more in the group. I can do some trainings in the group on it, okay? Now, your notifications, you guys have to decide what you want to turn on with your notifications. You're going to go into your little three dots there and settings. and scroll down, and Instagram gives you the option to have push notifications, as you can see. So you guys have to decide, what do you want to get a push notification on? I kind of like to turn them all off because they make me crazy. But if you go in to that, you can decide what you want your push notifications on. So you decide how much you want to get bothered by that. And that is totally up to you. Again, it's in the 3 bars at the top. You click those. And on the bottom is your settings, settings. And then you scroll down till you see notifications, okay? So again, that's kind of personal, whatever you want to get notified on. Some people want to get notified of everything. Some people only want to get notified of, if someone follows them, etc. So you guys have to decide what you want to do with that, okay? So let's talk about content, because that's a big deal for people. And I know that for a lot of us in the service industry, it's kind of harder to create good content that's visual, because Instagram is a very visual tool. So how do we do that? You kind of have to get in this groove of what type of content to create. And I'm actually going to show you guys. I did a little thing on the type of content that I like to use, okay? So for me, I always have to work at it. I always take pictures of networking events and put that up there. I put photos of my dog, and then I kind of like to do lessons and quotes and put those up too, and I will use stock photos for that. So there's all kinds of stuff you can do, but the thing with Instagram is you want to kind of give people a sense of your business without really, kind of pushing it at them all the time, right? So the way to do that, you can, if you have products, you can do, obviously pictures of products. Nikki, that's an easy one for you. Networking events, behind the scenes are always good. So sometimes if I remember, I'll take like a crazy picture. I was doing a photo of something, and I had stuff like all over the place, and I had Christmas decorations. So after it was all done, I took a picture of what my setup looked like and said, oh, this is like my office with all the Christmas crap in it and everything. So you can share from other businesses. So you guys really have to kind of work harder as being in the service industry to figure out what to post for your content. And that can always be a challenge. You also have to decide how personal you want to get on this too. That again is a really individual decision. I'm not a big selfie person, so I always have to remind myself, take a picture if I'm somewhere. But it also drives me crazy when people only post selfies too. So, again, it's just being mindful when you're out places to take pictures, do behind the scenes work. If you don't have a lot of pictures, then what else are you going to post? And so I love posting quotes. Like if you can see my Instagram, I'll usually post a quote like once a week. And I'm going to try and show you guys that's our doggo. Sorry. That was Gus. I post Gus. But like I posted a quote over here a few days ago, and then I got, Oreo cookies from Office Evolution. I posted that. And I did some TBT posts, and then again, did a bunch of quotes. So I'll try and do a quote, let's say once a week. And then if I'm doing something that's like a training thing where I'm giving people a tip, I'll grab a stock photo and I'll either put writing on it or not put writing on it in Canva and try and make it relevant to what I'm doing. So let's say I was posting something about fonts, right? And wanted to kind of do a training on a font. So I took a stock photo and made a really goofy font thing, and then, put a little bit of a blurb underneath it about using different fonts. So stock photos aren't bad. I think for Instagram, you really kind of have to personalize them a little bit too, but make sure that they are relevant to what your training is, to what, whatever you're talking about, right? So don't just post up a dog and, I don't know, it's got to make sense in terms of what you're doing. So it can be a challenge, and I'd love to know for those of you guys, Holly, I know, think about what the message in the photo is. Holly, I know that Holly does a really cool thing where she doesn't, I don't know if you post every day, But when Holly goes and does a dog show, she'll post all kinds of pictures of dogs, and it's a really cute thing. So, so that's really good messaging for Holly, because it gets people in the groove of what she's doing. It gets us excited about the next dog show and cute dogs we're going to see. So I love the idea that Holly does that. But for those of us without product-based and just service-based, like, you really have to work harder at it. Like Holly could do, something about, if she wanted to do something about dogs, like, and talk about, the different kinds of toys. You could post a picture of a dog toy if she had one, or you could get stock photos of dogs and talk about dog activity, which is what I do for one of my clients. So you can pull in stock photos, but just be mindful that it works with whatever you're posting about. Do you guys have any, like Emily, I'm going to call out some of you. And, Rajika, what do you guys post about? Or are you kind of struggling for content?
I've only posted once.
Okay. Okay. So, the other thing too is that flattery is great. So follow some other coaches and see what they're doing. Like I would, Rita posts a lot on Instagram, Rita Goodrow. And so you can kind of go ahead, take a look at what she does and get some ideas. That doesn't mean you have to take her stuff, but
Right.
Get some ideas. Maggie, what do you post about on Instagram? Or are you just kind of starting out with this? Oh, you gotta unmute, Maggie.
Yeah, hi. I've only been using it for personal stuff right now, but I'm transitioning into using it for my business as well, because I think of myself as my brand. It's like if I'm doing some crazy thing, that's who I am. And if like that's just what it is. But I want to be more intentional about using it more for business purposes and keeping that personal flavor. So I just can't, I'm nothing, strategic at this moment. So all your tips here are really good about the kinds of things to post. Because I think I'll probably sprinkle, like, it'll be personal 25%, maybe 75% business.
Yep. Okay, and that's kind of, so the thing too is with social, you're trying to get social platforms, you're trying to get people to know you. So sprinkling personal is good. I actually, like, my line in the same way, I don't post a lot of pictures of my son. He prefers that I not do that, and I'm trying to respect. We had some weird thing happen with it.
Yeah, my son gets crazy about that too. He's like, my brand, mother, my brand.
Right, well, my kid's not like that, but I don't love his Instagram name either, so we're like trying to stay away from that. But, you have to decide, how much you're going to post. You're going to post your family, you're going to post when you go out to eat. So, like, when Mark and I go somewhere fun, I'll try and post a picture of that just to let people know what's going on in my life. But with the kids, I try not to do them too much. When we do family stuff, I actually don't post a ton about, like going on vacation or places we visited. Like maybe I'll do one picture afterwards. Like let's say we went to Hershey Park. I don't really know that I took any photos, but maybe I post one and say I had a fun, weekend at Hershey Park. So you've got to really figure out where your family fits in and how you want to show up, but you also need to figure out a way to get personal with this. So for me, like networking events are it. Like I'll post a lot of different networking events and all I'm at and try and tag other businesses and all the stuff I'm doing. So it's kind of a thing where I'm at work and I'm posting about it, but it also ties in the personal aspect. And so everybody's got to spend a little bit of time thinking about how comfortable they are being in front of the camera, what kind of stuff they want to post about, and how personal they want to get. But remember that social lets people get to know you, and that's why they're going to buy from you. So you have to have some level of personal in there. Like Holly, I kind of say to you, try and get yourself in with the dogs sometimes if you can. Like that may not be easy every time, but if you could, Holly does a good job of actually posting pictures of herself, but sometimes you could kind of, get in with the dogs or something. So there's different things you can do. As Rajika was saying, family photos, books, affirmations. So if you want that to be a part of your business, then that's fine. If you want to kind of move past that, then you're going to need to spend some time developing content. And I will tell you that one of the better ways to do this, and even for me, is to plan out my content ahead of time. Like if you just do spur of the moment, it's really a pain. It doesn't work. You're always struggling for something and nothing makes sense. But if you sit down once a week and plan out your Instagram content and know what pictures you're going to have and what do you need to create a graphic for, it's a much better process. So, Nikki, for you, like, do you always want to show pictures of your jewelry? Or are there other things you're doing? You could do a jewelry tip. So you could even like say, well, how do you layer necklaces? What do you do about bracelets? Like what kinds of stones are these? I was working with a jeweler once who did a lot of different types of stones. So we were trying to kind of bring in the story behind the stone so that she wasn't always posting. But again, I would follow a jeweler who does it well and then see what they do. Like sometimes if you just post a picture and just say, you know, love this gorgeous bracelet, or, you know, isn't this pretty, the stone sparkles, instead of saying blah, 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 buy this here, you know, then although it, you know, in essence it's salesy because you're posting it, in reality it's kind of cool because you're telling people about it. Yeah, the story behind the piece. So my friend Alicia runs a clothing store called Undeniable Boutique, and she's always posting pictures of the clothes. Now you'd think that would be salesy, but she doesn't say pop in and buy this. She just says, wow, look at this cute stuff that we got in. Isn't this adorable? This is how you wear this one. So something like that where it could be perceived as being salesy, but you know, it's not, because she just does it in such a good way. And so those kinds of things are things you might want to try too. I'm sorry, my kid, who I tell not to bother me because he's home from school, like I told him, he's outside with his friends, and I'm like, no one can come in the house until after 2:30. So of course they try and come in the house. And then he's like texting me going, can I go here? And I'm not answering. He's like, question mark, question mark. But dude, seriously, I'm on this thing. I told you not to bother me. Jenny. Okay. Very cool. I like it. I think that, so Jenny's doing her bio. So I'm going to kind of step out of the thing about content and talk about the bio for a sec. I think it's good. I think it sounds a little bit promotional, so I would kind of work on that, because I think everybody figures you work diligently anyway. So kind of, you know, make it something more fun. Why are you a go-to realtor? Who's your ideal client? You know, try and pull some of that stuff in with it too. So I'd like to challenge you to dig a little bit more with that. So anyway, content. So it is always a challenge for everybody, but if you schedule it ahead of time, it's so much easier. And I find that even for me. And don't forget that you guys can also do videos too. Like with Instagram, your videos can be up to a minute, right? So I was doing a thing where Rita challenged me to get on a video once a day and give a social media tip. Now a minute goes by really quick, so it's a very brief tip. Nikki, you can do that with jewelry. You know, hey, are you trying to mix gold and silver? This is how you do it. Are you trying to layer pieces? This is how you do it. If you're trying to do an arm party, this is how you do it. So you guys, if you want to, don't forget about using video for Instagram, because it does work. The funny thing is that photos seem to do better on Instagram than video, but video is a great way to get in front of people too, and it's a great way to fill in content also. So anyway, there is that. Okay, so moving on past content, the other crucial piece of what you guys have going on with Instagram is your caption. Right? And that is where you put all the stuff about the photo, okay? I cannot tell you how many times I see people just throw up a photo with hashtags and that's it, and I want to scream. This is where you're telling your audience about you, your business, whatever's going on, and it is prime real estate. And if you're not putting a good description in there, you're wasting it. So you really have to work, you know, again, do that, like this one. I took a picture when I was at the Rowan Tree grand opening, and I tagged other businesses, put who it was, put a little bit of description about it. You know, so just be sure you're using your caption. The ideal caption length is 138 to 150 characters, okay? So people don't like super long captions. Now, sometimes people do that. Sometimes when you're giving a tip, it's got to be longer. But just know that the ideal caption length for people is 150 characters or no more. So, you know, like even this, it was National Messy Desk Day, and I thought I'd use that and post a picture of a messy desk, not mine. And then I put it in there. I didn't bring that back to my business. My kid, seriously going to strangle my son. Didn't bring that into my business, but I did kind of make fun and pull myself in a personal way. So use your captions. Even this one with, okay, so my cookies that I got, I tagged Office Evolution in it, I think, and Sweet Signatures, and just put something about that too. So definitely use your caption. I don't ever want to see it. I'm probably following all you guys on Instagram. If not, I will be. And I don't ever want to see. Maggie, you're posting those privately so now everybody can see it, which is hysterical. I'll tell you what, guys, what Maggie said. But I don't ever want to see you guys ever. Just post a caption and make it all hashtags, or don't do it. Like, you're not telling your story when you do that. So even if it's not a lesson or a training or looks back to your business, then you really do want to use that. And then tag people in it too, because then they might go ahead and repost what you're doing, and that gets you a much, much bigger audience. So anytime you can, go ahead and tag people. It's the same as Facebook. Now, the challenge is you've got to know what their Instagram hashtag is. So sometimes I will actually go out and search that before going ahead and tagging it, because Instagram hashtags are a little weird. Sometimes they're hard to figure out. But if you're going to tag someone on your post, like I did here, I don't know if you guys can see, I tagged Sweet Signatures and Office Evolution, and they popped up, right? So I actually had to go and make sure that they both work. But then they might repost that. They might say something. So it kind of gets the engagement going, right? So that's the reason you do that. So wherever you can, tag people. I think even, okay, I didn't post that. Okay, I was going to say I had a picture of me with Mayor Lisa Merkel, but I didn't put it on Instagram. So anyway, on this one, I tagged Amy Dagliano, and I tagged Rowan Tree, and and I tagged Lisa Merkel in it, even though she wasn't in the picture. So again, so tag people, and we will get to hashtags in 1 second, okay? So you can, so the thing is, if you're on Instagram and trying to tag someone, and you put at whatever, and it's just not apparent that that's the person, if you're on your computer, you can open up a browser and type in, like, Lisa Nichols Instagram, and it will pop, and you'll find it that way. Then you can put your hashtag in, or in your tag in, your at, and your mention, okay? So use those to tag people in here, like I did, and then that, like I said, gets a lot of engagement going, and that's super fun. So tag everybody wherever you can, whenever you take pictures, okay? So let's talk about hashtags, because hashtags are searchable in your bio, in your captions, and in your content, okay? Now, there are many different ways you guys can use hashtags. The ideal number of hashtags is 5 to 10, okay? So a lot of people tend to use like 30, or 30 is the max you can use. You don't need to use 30. Sometimes less is more. The reason you use hashtags is because it makes that phrase searchable to other people. So let's say I'm putting up a dog quote, and I want to get in front of the dog audience. If I put up hashtag dog quotes all in one word, and people search on dog quotes, they're going to my post is going to show up. It's 5 to 10 hashtags in one caption. Yes, that's correct. That's the max, Maggie, or that's the ideal. Sorry. Okay. Or Emily, 5 to 10 hashtags in one caption is the ideal number. Some people, you can do up to 30. It looks really cluttered, and I don't love it. Again, a less is more person. So the reason you're using hashtags is to make your stuff searchable. Like with Instagram, if you just type in search functions, it doesn't work that well. Everybody's getting used to using hashtags in Instagram. And so that's why you do it. Like if I just put dog quotes, that wouldn't necessarily be searchable on Instagram, but I could put hashtag dog quotes, then it would. And I'm going to show you guys, there's a search bar on Instagram. So let's say we put in dog and search. Okay, so if I put in dog and search, I get, all these people with dog in the title. And then you can also click on tag to do it, but it pops up hashtags. So to make your stuff searchable, you need to use a hashtag. So you can do different things with hashtags. You can find some that are very popular, and you can find some that are less popular. And I actually like using a mix of those. Now, the very popular ones, let's say I did searched for, I'll show you guys this, hashtag dog quotes. I'm going to search for dog quotes, okay? And I do this, and there's like, if you guys can see that top one, there's 73,000, almost 74,000 posts with dog quotes. Huge, huge search option, right? So if I put that in my post, in the caption, people may or may not find my post if they're searching for dog quotes, right? With 73,000 other posts there, they may or may not. But you know, there's the possibility that it gets me in front of this huge audience of, you know, 74,000 other quotes. So I put it in there. But then I might kind of drop it back and put something that's a little bit more, you know, relevant to my industry. Like I do dog quotes for a company that does canine rehabilitation products. So then I'll put like dog quotes, but then I'll also put in, let's say, canine rehab, right? Yeah, if I can spell it right. And that's only 17,000 quotes, which is still a lot, right? But it's a smaller audience. So chances are if someone goes searching on that, my stuff might pop up more. So you're kind of trying to mix hashtags that have a huge audience with hashtags that have a smaller audience. And the hashtags, you get them, you search them, you make them up, you play around with them. So with hashtags, search, 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 search. Like if I say, let's say I'm thinking, okay, well, we do, you know, support products for dogs. So I'm going to try canine rehab. So I have 17,000 posts. So I'm going to click on those and it pops up with all the posts. So what I'm going to do is click on one of those. That's the post. And see what hashtags they used and if there's other hashtags on there too. Okay. So you're kind of just doing searches through everything to see what hashtags people are using. And then you're developing your own set of hashtags. It's a lot of trial and error. And I think that that's the best way to do it. And so like Holly might do hashtag animal communication or animal communicator, right? And she might see what happens with that hashtag. And I'm going to try that. Communicator, can't spell. And there's 19,000 posts with Animal Communicator, which is a lot more than you'd think. So we're going to click on some of these and see what people have put on them. And let's say, whoa, some of them are not in English, which makes it a lot easier. A lot of them are not in English. Okay. Let's see. Okay. And what you're going to do is hopefully find some where people have Animal Communicator and then put, like, let's say, other hashtags in there, and then you can kind of see what works. Unfortunately, everybody's, so the funny thing about this is I think everybody's putting their hashtags in their comments, and they're not popping up, okay? So this whole hashtag thing I'm trying to show you guys, it's just not working for me. Oh, they might have Animal Communicator in the title. Or not. Oh, man. So I clearly should have done this better before I did that. So we're not going to do hashtag for Animal Communicator because here we go. Okay, so this post on Animal Communicator, this woman has used a whole bunch of hashtags in here, as you guys can see, right? So Holly may look at that and think, oh, how interesting. I could use Animal Whisperer, Animal Intuitive. She's used Cats of Instagram. She's used Cat Wisdom, Cat Power. So go ahead and play around and put a hashtag that you think you might use, run some searches on it, and then start developing what I call a set of hashtags that you use. And use those in your posts and mix them up. Okay, so like one time you might use Animal Communicator, Animal Whisperer, and Cat Power. Another time it might be like Animal Communicator, you know, dog quotes or whatever. So I like having a set of larger hashtags, but then using them differently for different posts. And I actually keep those in a Word document and just pull on them when I need to. So a lot of it is trial and error. If you guys want to throw me out, you know, let's say a phrase, then you know, do that when you start searching. And you guys had a couple of questions that I missed. So same ones over and over. From what I understand, Instagram doesn't like when you use the same hashtags in every single post, and you tend to get some issues with that. So what I do is mix them up, and I'll have, let's say, a set of 30 that work for me, but I'll take 5 or 10 of those each time and pop those into my caption every time I do it. Now, there's a couple of ways you can offset them from your caption so that they don't look as bad, because like it looks awful when you have them like sitting right up against your caption, right? I just don't love it. So what this person did was she offset them. it's really weird how Instagram doesn't do well with like paragraphs and spacing. So a lot of times you got to hit return period, return period, return period to drop it down a couple of sentences, and you offset them that way. So if you want to do it in your caption, offset them a little bit, you might have to hit return period, return period, return period to offset them, okay? Like I said, Instagram is really weird about returns without anything in there. They don't seem to recognize them. You can also put them in the original, in the first comment, but that means that you got to, you know, be on top of it. Like if you're using anything else to post your stuff, then that doesn't work as well. But if you're going in and posting originally each time, you can go ahead and put them in the first comment. They both work equally well. I would say try it both ways and play around with your insights to see which one you like better or which one fits better into your lifestyle. And Holly says, yeah, use the hashtag and the breed of the dog, because again, let's say some people are looking at corgis, you know, so if you just say animal communicator or, you know, I love dogs, that doesn't do anything. But if you say corgis, then you get this whole subset of people that love corgis, and so you use it that way. So hashtags are very personal, and you guys just really need to play around with them, search them, and then develop a set of hashtags you want to use. So I'd like to challenge you all. I don't know if we're going to have time to do it today, but I'd like to challenge you guys. Actually, why don't you take a minute or so and come up with a couple of hashtags, and then we'll run some searches on them to see how they do, okay? So you just want to take a minute to do that? I'd like to see some of them. And if you use ones already, great. But like Maggie and Emily, if you guys aren't using any hashtags, come up with something you think would work. Like I use Entrepreneur Life a lot, and I use Public Speaker and Entrepreneur. So for me, those are good. I use social media, like I'll do social media tip as a hashtag when I'm doing stuff. So, you know, over time, I've kind of tried to develop what I like doing with my hashtags. But if you guys want to pop some in here, I'd love to see what you all are you know, thinking about using. Okay. Okay, Maggie, so let's take one. Have you run searches on these before? Let's do hashtag elevator pitch. So if you're going to search on elevator pitch, there's 21,000 posts. That's not bad, actually. It's not terribly huge. And then you can kind of see there's an elevator pitch video on there that's top. Bunch of people half naked, which is super interesting. And I'm not sure why. Why does this guy have one? Okay, so okay, so, you know, it looks like you've got a mix of people in here and a mix of some coaches who like to do elevator pitches. So, you know, that might be an interesting one to use. It looks like one dude uses it a lot, and he's a model. I have no idea why. Super interesting. So, let's see. Here, this girl does it. She's got a whole bunch of, she's an influencer, and she's using it, which is interesting. So, you know, take a look at that and see if you like what's going on with that hashtag. If you're not crazy about it, then you don't have to use it. You might want to try using another one, or keep it in there and use it occasionally. But definitely take a look at what's going on with that hashtag. You know, Holly, I'm really wondering, yeah, okay, so if there are specific events that you're at, definitely use those hashtags. And people talk sometimes about a branded hashtag. Okay, and Maggie's got branding coach. So go ahead, use that one. That's a good one. And run searches to see what else pops up with that. You might get some other ideas. Branded hashtags are ones that you create that are specific to your business. And a lot of times people use them if they're running contests for user-generated, you know, it's a user-generated contest where they want people to post and then use their hashtags. So like, when would you use a branded hashtag? So do I need a hashtag that's a, you know, hashtag Tira Strategies? Not really. Nobody's really going to search on it. It's not a big deal. Now, if I want to compile stuff, like, and you know, if I want to say to people, well, you know, let's say if you've had a trading class with Tira Strategies, you know, use the hashtag when you're, you know, posting about it. You can do something like that. A lot of people use them for events. I don't know that everybody needs a branded hashtag. Like, again, unless you're doing something that's user-generated contest where you're asking people to post photos and then use a hashtag so that you can compile all of the results, you don't need it. Like, the big brands use it a lot, but for smaller brands, you know, there's not a whole point to it. You know, again, Holly, if you're having something where you're having people post about you, that could be a thing to do if you want, but most of us don't need branded hashtags, okay? Most of us can just use a lot of the generic hashtags out there because it's getting us in front of a bigger audience. They're searchable, and that's why you use them, okay? So, and if you guys want more about branded hashtags, I think I've posted articles about it, and I can certainly post again, but you know, most of the bigger brands do it. Mostly if you're doing a contest that's user generated, then you would use it. But Holly, you can start using it, but is anybody else using it? Okay, but like, what's the point? Like, why do you need it?
Because it's my tagline on my card.
Okay, okay. Then you can start using it, you know, but they're not trademarks, so know that somebody else could use it too, and so that's
Okay.
something you have to be careful of. We did a branded hashtag. One of my clients had a 5K, right? So we actually created a branded hashtag for the 5K, and it was funny because the one thing she wanted had like 10 posts in a different language. I'm like, let's not just do that. Let's do something else. You know, there's no point to it. So that was good because if people were posting pictures about that, we wanted them to use the hashtag instead of worrying about tagging them. So that would be one reason to use it. You know, events do it a lot, so they can compile everything. You know, so if you want to use a branded hashtag, go for it. I wouldn't worry about it a ton. Actually, Nikki, I'm going to go back to this. Shop Handmade is a good one, and if you search on that, I think you can find that there's a lot of other things about there, you know, that are handmade jewelry, and you might want to use some of that, like, you know, in terms of artisan. So I would I would search Shop Handmade and then go ahead and kind of see what other people are using, and you might get a really big set of hashtags that you can use interspersively, which is good because there's a big community. I know that when I was working with the jewelry client, there were a lot of hashtags we used that got her in front of other people who created jewelry. Now I don't know if that actually helped sell her jewelry, but she kind of opened up her horizons to more people who did handcrafted jewelry. Okay. Okay. So those are kind of the big things about Instagram itself, but I wanted to talk to you guys about using Instagram stories and IGTV too. Before we dive into that, does anyone have any questions about using basic Instagram? Anything you want to go over again? Anything you think we skated over too quickly? Like there's more for it than this. I'm just trying to give you guys kind of a quick overview on it. So. Okay, cool. Ready to go into Instagram stories. So you may have noticed on your Instagram page that this stuff is up here, right? So these are where your Instagram stories are. Now, the reason people are using them with Instagram stories, they designed it so it was more like Snapchat, where you put stuff up and it went away after 24 hours. And the cool thing about Instagram stories are that you can use filters and stickers and all kinds of stuff. An Instagram story is basically a post that goes up, stays for 24 hours, and then goes away, okay? And what happens is that anyone who has an Instagram story pops up on your homepage, and you can see that they've added to their story. So you're using them if you have content that doesn't necessarily need to stay on your Instagram feed forever, you know, or just want to put it up and down again. Or if you want to like run a time-sensitive contest or something like that, it's good for that. It's really just another way to use Instagram, and the reason people are doing it is because not everybody's on Instagram stories. Like a lot of people haven't figured out how to use them yet, what to use them for. So the landscape is less crowded, right? And so you kind of get in front of a bigger audience by using Instagram stories. So what happens is when you pop onto Instagram stories, like Rita did something about the snowfall. That doesn't need to be on her Instagram feed. You know, so some of the stuff, she's just having fun with it. Some of it, you know, she's just putting up there just to be quick. And so, again, they're used as a way to compete with Snapchat. And you can add filters, and you get all kinds of really fun, cool stuff with it. And then it just stays up for 24 hours unless you share it to your feed. You know, like one of the reasons I used it when I went to California, I actually decided to put all of my vacation photos up in Instagram stories and instead of having them on my main Instagram feed, because I was trying to show everybody that it can be easy and fun to use. So how do you do it? If you want to add to your Instagram story, you're the first little icon that pops up, and you hit that, and then you get there. Now you can either take a photo or video, or you can use one that you already have. And the way you use one you already have is to just swipe up, and everything you've done will pop up here, and then you can put that in an Instagram story. They used to only do the photos you took for 24 hours, but then they kind of changed that. And if you do one that's over 24 hours, the date pops in, but then you can get rid of that. So no big deal. So that's how you do it. So let's say I'm going to select for Instagram stories, oh gosh, my cat Smokey, right? So you guys can see that I took this on January 24th, okay? So here's Smokey, and this is Instagram stories. I'm going to show you guys how I did it again, okay? Everybody take your phone and go into this page, your home page, either one. Your home page with that home on it. Everybody go there. And all your stories are going to pop up at the top. So you're going to click yours, and you get this. Well, everybody is swipe up, and then you can grab a picture that pops up, okay? Now, because this one is over 24 hours, I have this weird date thing, but if I put my hand on it and move it down, there's a little trash can icon and it goes away, okay? I'm gonna show you guys how to do that again because that was, okay, Smokey. The date pops up. Put my finger on it, see that trash can icon that popped up in the bottom? Move it down and it goes away. So you can either keep the date on it or not. Now, with this, I can do some fun stuff. I can put stickers on my picture of Smokey, and I can put something else on my picture. Like I can, other stuff. The date pops up, there's a couple of ways to do this. The date pops up automatically if the picture that you've chosen from your camera roll is over 24 hours, okay? Otherwise, it doesn't pop in automatically. So if you use a picture that you just took within 24 hours, it doesn't pop up. I don't like it on there because it clutters it, so I usually take them off. So you can put all kinds of stuff here. You can put links in this. So let's say if I wanted to do a story about my Instagram workshop, I could actually click the link and it's a clickable link, which is pretty cool. You can put stickers by clicking up here, that little sticker thing, and you can put location, mention and hashtags here. You guys can see all that. And I thought you could put the date, but I could be wrong. You do countdowns, you can do polls, you can do stickers, all kinds of fun stuff, right? So let's say I wanted to put that tired thing on there because Smokey looks super tired, and then you can just change it. You can, oops, that was the picture of Smokey, sorry. Okay, you can make it by putting your fingers on, you can make it bigger or smaller, you can turn it around. And if you click on it, you can change the color. Okay. So the stickers are kind of a way to have fun, and you can also write on it. And let's say I'm going to write, show you guys how I did that. So these little bars here give you different things to do. Okay, so the stickers one was this right here, and then if I wanted to do like kind of draw on it, I would hit this one. So let's say I hit that and wanted to, oh man, that's not what I wanted to do. But anyway, you get the idea. That's horrible. Poor Smokey. So I'm actually gonna, crap, I don't think I can get rid of that. So anyway, so I'm actually going to discard that and try again because poor Smokey didn't do that, deserve that. So again, I'm gonna take this date, trash it, put a sticker on. I like this tired one because Smokey was tired. I took that picture, make it bigger, turn it around. No, for Instagram stories, you cannot add captions. So what you have to do is make sure that the picture itself tells the story. And you do that by putting stickers on it. You do it by putting you know, all kinds of fun stuff on it and make that tell the story. So I'm going to discard this photo. Okay, so back to here, Instagram again. You click on your picture to get into stories. Swipe up to access your photos. And then pick the photo you want. It's that easy. And then anything under 24 hours has the date. You can get rid of that if you want or keep it. If you like having a date on, you can actually type in a date if it's under 24 hours. So put your sticker on it. Move it around. I can put it up here in the middle of Smoky so you can see it better. I keep it down here. Okay. I can draw. If you click this little highlighter guy, you can draw. I think this gives you like how thick the line is. And then I start here. Oh, it's very sensitive. Okay. Start here and just draw my photo. See? So I did that. Hit undo. Undo to get rid of that if I don't like it. Okay. Brigitte, do you have any photos in your camera roll? If you swipe up, it should let you do that. Sometimes it gets weirdly glitchy, and you might have to be sure that Instagram has access to your camera roll. Were you able to add photos onto your regular Instagram account? Because that's kind of weird. Okay, cool. So you can also add things. So let's say I want to, I'm going to write on there. I'm going to hit the A's, and I'm going to type in Smoky is, and then we're going to leave it as Smoky is tired, right? So I'm going to put Smoky is. So you have different fonts you can use. If you hit this font up here, classic, it gives you different kinds of fonts. Okay. So play around with those. Some of them are actually backlit. So let's say you're worried that whatever color you use, because you have a very busy background, it's not going to show up. So some of the fonts you can have a backlight. So if you can see this classic font, it's got these things here. I'm going to click that. Oops, sorry. My bad. And it backlights it, if you guys saw that. So that's helpful when sometimes I'll type something up and you just can't see what the writing looks like. So doing that backlit thing is pretty cool. So it's this one right here. It backlights it. It backlights it different colors. But not all the fonts have it. So if you see modern font, it doesn't have that backlight thing, okay? The backlit thing, so you can't use it there. But that's kind of fun. Neon doesn't have backlit either. Typewriter does. So let's say I'm going to do that and go with that. And then I'm going to hit done. And you can move this around and make it bigger and do that, okay? And then you've got your story. So you can use this writing to do a lot of stories. You can use the writing however much you want. You can put a lot of writing in something. Just remember, people are going to be looking at it on their phones. I saw someone who did something and she put like 3 small paragraphs on it. She did a lot of small writing, but 3 small paragraphs, but it worked because she was trying to get a message across. And then what you do is you hit send to. You can actually just share it with your story here. Okay. Rajika, I would play with the options on the top, like play with the different fonts and the different things on the top. And just, if you ever hate it, just hit X and you can start all over again. Like you guys can do a story and then hit X and just get rid of the whole story. So you don't have to put anything on until you're happy with the story that you have. And then you can either share by hitting this button down here, or you can hit send to, and you can send to different people, or you can send to your story, etc., etc., etc. You may not, okay, so what you have to do is actually hit the writing part of it, and then you get the options for it. I'll go back to this, okay? Okay, so classic writing, you have your colors on the bottom. No, you're good, okay? So your fonts, okay, here. Hit this AA thing right here, right? And then you can start writing, typing. Oh, bye, Maggie. Thank you. Okay. Do this, sorry, give me a sec. Okay, Up here, you have to be in Instagram stories and put your picture in there already, and then you have all these options. Did you already pull a picture in? Okay, you should, when you go on here, you should be able to, you should have all of these. I don't know why I don't know. That's really odd. It should show up. Okay, I'm gonna start all over. I'm discard my photo. Okay. Make sure you're in Instagram stories. That's the big thing, okay? Be in Instagram stories, swipe up, or take a picture. Oops. Yes, hit the X and you should be able to delete it. You know what? You may have already shared it, and then that might be why you can't go in and do anything to it. I'd have to see what you were doing. Okay. So if you have something, I'm actually gonna show you guys. Okay, we're gonna do stickers. I'm gonna do this sticker thing with Smokey really quick and show you guys how to do some stuff with this. Okay, Smokey is. Okay, so I'm gonna send this to my stories right there, and it's gonna pop up in Instagram stories. How do you know that? So you're gonna go in here, and it shows you that that's my Instagram story, and it stays up for a few seconds. Then if you have another one on top of it, it'll switch to the other one. Now, while you're in here, I think it's like a 6-second story, right? While you're in here, if you click these 3 bars on the bottom, you can do different things with that post. So let's say you put that up there and you hated it, then you can get rid of it. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that again. So once you've posted your story, go in and look at it. And then if you don't want to do something with it, hit those 3 bars at the bottom, and you can see that you can share as a post if you'd like, send somewhere, promote it, change around the story settings, and that's where you delete it if you want to, okay? So I can delete that. I hit delete, it asks me if I really want to delete it, I hit delete, and I'm done, okay? So that's kind of a cool thing to do. People use Instagram stories in a bunch of different ways, but it's a less cluttered space, so it works really well if you're trying to get in front of a bigger audience and you know, want to get a little bit more noticed than you do on your regular Instagram, which is getting pretty crowded. The other thing about it is if you have an Instagram story post up, okay, say I said I put that on Instagram story, right? And you want to do something sequentially where you want more than one, all you need to do while you're in your Instagram story is hit your icon in the top and you can put a second post up. So let's say I do this, okay, and share it to my story, and I'll show you guys what this looks like. Then if I do that, the newest one comes up, and then the first one that I posted is after that. So if you wanted to do like a story showing people, leading people a certain way, okay, Smokey comes up first, the first one stays up, and then the second one comes. So some companies do this to kind of lead people down a path where they tell them, you know, about an offer or something. You know, I could do it, oh, do you hate Instagram? In one photo, and then there's a solution for that in a second one, sign up for my really cool Instagram class. So there's things like that you can do, and some people do it really well. There's a company called B&O, and they do really good, a really good job on their Instagram stories, kind of like leading people down a path to look at an offer or something like that. So, you know, I would say get used to looking at your Instagram stories. What'll happen is if you click on somebody's, you'll see it, and then you automatically go to the next person and the next person, and you can see how people do this and kind of spend some time taking a look and seeing how people play with them and how they work with them, and it's really, it gets you some good ideas. B&O, Bando, B-A-N-D-O is the one where they do a good job with stories. So if you guys are kind of trying to find a way to up your Instagram to the next level, stories are a good way. Play with it. As with anything, just play with this stuff and get used to it. You can delete everything. It's going to be up for a hot second, so if you really hate it, you can just go ahead and delete it. And if you ever get into this thing where like, oh my God, I can't delete it, let me know and I can walk you through how to delete it. So I'd love to see from you guys some posts coming up, and you know, if you're going to do this, tag me in the group and tell me to go check out your Instagram. And if you decide to put up a story, let me know and I'll go check it out. Because I'd love to see you guys play around with that. And then the last thing I want to spend a minute on is Instagram TV or IGTV. So this is kind of a way to compete with YouTube. And the cool thing again about IGTV is you can have videos that are up to between 15 seconds and 10 minutes that you can upload from your computer. So not everybody's on IGTV. If you do a lot of trainings, this is a great space to be. You can actually put your videos up on IGTV and do some trainings with it. And so it's a separate app that you have, and you can just go in and upload stuff. So if anybody has video that they use or does a lot on video, I would say try and use IGTV and try and get in front of a bigger audience. Not everybody's using IGTV. It's a great space to be in if you've got that kind of bandwidth and have done some videos that are representative of your business. You know, Holly, you might do something like a video, you know, showing how you talk to a dog or talk to you know, communicate with an animal, or Emily, you know, you do something about your business. So there's all kinds of things that you can do with it. It is a, I'll show you guys, it's actually a separate app that you have to download. Right there, it's called IGTV. But whenever anyone posts a video, it shows up on your main Instagram feed. So that's the cool thing about it, is if you're using IGTV, it shows up with to your followers, and everybody sees, oh, Lisa posted a video, and then they're like, oh, cool, I can go look at it. So you get a much bigger broadcast, you know, using IGTV than you do just using regular Instagram. Same thing with stories. If you put on a story, people get notifications that you have a new story up. So that's kind of another reason to use it, is to just get in front of your followers in a bigger way. So those, you guys, are the main things I wanted to go over with using Instagram. If anybody has questions, unmute yourselves, you know, ask away. If you want to show me your phone and what's going on with your phone, we can kind of play around with that. Rajika, I'd be interested to see if we were able to figure out IGTV for you. So that's it. But is there anything you guys want to know more about? I always feel like these go by so quickly and I'm going fast through everything, but I also want to keep a good pace so that you guys get a lot of information about it. I will have this recording. I'll put it up. I'll send you all an email probably either tonight or tomorrow morning with the recording on, so you can go back through those pieces of it. I think the first few minutes are just me like in front of the camera, so you might want to scroll through that. What do you do with all of your followers once you get them? That's awesome. You keep in touch with them. So you try and move them into other things. You know, you try and move them into your group. You know, you kind of have to look at Instagram as part of your sales funnel, although that's like a dirty word these days, right? But part of your sales funnel where you first touch base with people, let them get to know you. You can add offers onto your Instagram account. Like I put my classes on, or my workshops on Instagram, right? I do that all the time. So you know, maybe I get some people from it, maybe I don't. I also use it to funnel people into my group. So you kind of have to, it's your first, you know, contact with a lot of people, and it's fostering and building relationships too, so that you're hopefully drawing those people into the circle of Holly, and then, you know, they think about hiring you. So it's kind of the first steps. In terms of increasing your followers, Nikki, follow other people, interact with other people. Some people do this thing where, okay, let me talk about other stuff for a second, then I'll get into that. So I like in groups, a lot of Facebook groups, people will put, you know, follow me on here, and they'll have days where you follow someone. And so in my group, I actually do, what day is it? Friday? It's one of the days, Tuesdays. I ask people to share their Instagram handle, and then I'll go in and follow everybody. And usually people, if they know you, will follow back. Anytime I give a presentation, I ask people to follow me on Instagram. So you kind of have to, I like supplementing your networking with, you know, an online presence. And I find that my most engaged followers are people that I've developed a relationship with, mostly in person, that then filters into online, right? So for me, having those both together works. You have to give people a reason to want to look at you. So having great content is the start. Being consistent is the other piece of it. Like if you just post once or twice a week, people aren't going to know to look for you. So give them reasons to follow you. Tell them to follow you. Post on your other social accounts. Every time you send out a newsletter, tell people to, you know, follow you on Instagram. On your website, include a link to Instagram. And then if you go somewhere, have it on your business card. So all of those things, rather than buying followers, it's kind of it's a slow process, but I think it builds a better audience that way that's more interactive than if you're just, increasing followers like crazy. And, you also, everybody gets spams and bots. Just ignore them. Using your hashtags is a good way too. If you're very careful about the hashtags you use, like let's say you find some hashtags that there's only 1,000 posts about it, you might be able to use those to get in front of a bigger audience. I know that for my jewelry client, we definitely did increase her followers because once I started using information about other jewelry makers, like other people saw her and started following and interacting with her. So finding your tribe on Instagram is as relevant as it is to finding your tribe in other ways too. So some people do this thing where, I'm not sure I'm going to show you guys. If you have someone that you like on Instagram who's huge, right? Like let's say, Cultivate What Matters is a big one for me. Okay, I love them, and they have a ton of people on there. So I'm going to go over to their account, and this is how some people also do it, okay? So Cultivate What Matters has 85,000 followers, okay? Now, there is a way, I want to get to, so actually, sorry, I'm using the hashtag and I want to get to the account. So type an account that you want to follow. If I could type, this would be a much quicker process. Oh, I'm looking for people and that's why I can't find, I'm looking for posts and that's why I can't find it. Cultivate. Okay. So Cultivate What Matters has 99,000 followers, right? So they're really awesome. So what you can do is ask to be notified of every post that they have. And there's a way to do this, and I haven't done it here yet, so I'm not 100% sure how to do it. But there's a way that you can get notified on Instagram, and I believe you have to go to your notifications to do it, every time they post. And what you can do is get this notification, quickly jump on whatever they posted, and then be like one of the first few people to post a comment on it. And that way people are going to see you, and they'll probably start following you. So that's the way some people do it. And I think that that's in your notification settings. But I clearly haven't done it yet, so if you guys are very interested in that, I can figure that out for you and let you know. Oh, okay. Here you go. So under your notification settings, if you go into, let's say, your 3 bars and go into settings on the bottom and scroll down, man, I just lost it, into notifications and do push notifications. I think there's one where it says, let's see, first posts and stories. And I think if you click on that, you can get the first notification of something, but that's everybody. So I think that there's a better way to do this. And let me figure that out because I know I've seen that. And what I can do is post that in the group to show you guys how you do this. So if that's something you're interested in doing, we can definitely do that. So that's one way to do it too, and that's another way that people do it. Not to go down a rabbit hole, but we just did. So anyway, hope that helps. So like if there's a big jewelry person or influencer, you might want to, get notification of everything that they do, and then you can kind of see what's going on. Every time that they post something, you can be the first one to pop in a comment, and then other people are going to notice you and they'll probably start following you too. So, for you, that might be a good one, Nikki. For some of us, it's okay or not. It just depends, but that might work for you. Okay. So I will be sure that I find out how to get notifications of posts. And I know that there's something on there, so I'll do that. Okay. Any other questions, you guys? Everybody's stunned into silence, which is always what I think about that. Oh, Jenny, your bio. I'm sorry. Okay, results that move you. Your go-to realtor is my personal care. Oh my God, I love that. Me, see, now that resonates with me. That is wonderful. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy. That's fantastic. Good job. I love it. Yeah, yeah, that's good. That, you know, like even reading that, I'm like, oh my God, that sounds so cool. Of course I want to hire her. So that's it. Like that's the kind of thing that you guys need to, you know, in your bios, make people interested in finding out more about you. So good job. Good job on working on that. So if you guys have any questions about any of this, be in the group, Social Visibility Society, and tag me. That is easily the best way to reach me. Oh, okay. Emily, you Boulder in Business. Okay. Yes, that's right. Okay. No, hold on. Boulder in Business is what? I would put, okay.
So Bold in Business was not available.
As a username? Okay.
Wait. As well, that one says name and one says username, right?
Yeah, so your username is your @ right? So was Bold in Business not available as your @ username?
Is that the unique one?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it wasn't available.
Okay, so you can either use your username as @Emily Burrows, or you can use Boulder in Business and then put Emily Burrows in your name. And I'm going to show you, here, talk about this. You don't need the underscore for your username.
Okay. So what
Here.
do you want your name to be then?
What?
What do I want my name to be? Because
So,
it asks for name and username.
okay, so I'm saying that I use Lisa A. Nichols as my username and then Lisa Nichols as my name, okay? If you're using Boulder in Business as your username, then use Emily Burrows as your name. You don't need the underscore there. Do you see how my Lisa Nichols is just my regular name?
And does it matter which one? Does it matter if you use Boulder in Business as your username or as your name?
It's your personal preference. Like I don't want to use Tier Strategies because I'm branding myself. If you're trying to brand Boulder in Business, then that's fine to use as your username. Do you think people are going to know that from if they talk to you and you say follow me on Instagram? Are they going to know to look for Boulder in Business?
No.
Okay. So, but they'll know to look for Emily, right?
Right.
Right. Let me see something here. So we're going to actually search. So your name is also hard to spell too, right?
Right.
You're actually using Emily Burrows and Emily Burrows. Is that your personal account?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I type in Emily Burrows.
Burrows.
Then, okay. Okay. You've used Emily _Burrows as your username and Boulder in Business as your name.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, Nikki. Thank you. So I don't know that I do that. If you're going to do that, I use Boulder Business as my username and use Emily Burrows as my name.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would do that, especially because you have your personal name there anyway. So under a personal account, and so that might confuse people. So yeah, I would use Boulder in Business as the username, and then Emily Burrows. You don't need anything like. See how this with your name, you don't need to put any underscores there?
Yeah.
Okay, just the same thing.
Okay.
Okay, and it should work. I don't think, bye Jenny, thank you. I don't think that it will give you a problem with that. I don't think that has to be unique.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
Okay, you guys, so we are wrapping up. Again, Social Visibility Society, any questions, just ask me there. For those of you who are looking at it on the replay, if you have any questions, tag me in the group, and hopefully this has been helpful. But again, I'm glad it's helpful. I always feel like these go by in like such a whirlwind of craziness, especially when we're doing something where I want you guys to be working on it too. So hopefully it was helpful. Thank you all so much. Have an amazing day, and I will see you later for the next webinar.